I just finished my junior year of nursing school, and this is everything I did to pass each of my ATI proctors on the first try. And my mental health proctor, I got level 3. My med-surg proctor, I passed with level 2, but I surpassed the exam score that you need by quite a few points. And the pediatrics proctor, didn't think I was going to pass, but ended up passing with, again, multiple points. So basically, even like my grades alone from last semester to this semester changed so much. And I honestly think it was from the system that I've been doing. So I don't know, not everybody likes chat, but I didn't like chat until I started doing this, and now I do have to say I think that chat is what got me through the semester and really helped me. So at my school specifically, we get PowerPoints that our professors make, and then like we get a recorded lecture, then we go to class and we go over it and kind of touch up on things that we think we need. So what I would do was when my professors would post the PowerPoint, I would listen to the recorded lecture. We also had like ATI modules that we had to do throughout the semester, so I would do all of that, took notes on things that I really wasn't understanding, and then I would upload my PowerPoints into chat like one by one. And when I uploaded the file, you have to do it as a PDF file, I would upload it and I would say, make me NCLEX style concept maps per disease process on my slides. And chat would do that, which I didn't know that I could do that, which speaking about it to my professors, they actually liked the idea and like how I did it, because it wasn't like I was like putting my empty blueprint into the chat and being like, fill this out for me. I actually was using the notes that I had from the school and just had it rearrange it for me, so it made it a lot more basic. Because in nursing school, you get like 100 to 300 slides per PowerPoint. And back like a couple years ago, I would sit there and do notes on each slide. Imagine how long that took when you have like 3 classes. It's a lot. And then everything starts to get mixed up and it's like too much. So what I did was, for my final last semester in the fall, I was like, oh my God, I need a specific grade. How am I going to do this? I have so much I have to learn. I have to reteach myself the entire semester. So I basically take a white piece of paper, like a blank paper, divide it into 4, and then chat basically breaks it down for you, each disease process, into like key symptoms, key treatments, NCLEX gold standard, and like the patho behind it and what to look out for on an exam. So I would just do that for each process. I'd write it down in each little square, and I basically had this much notes for like 10 slides on a PowerPoint. I thought it was so helpful to me because you don't have time to go through everything. So I would do that, and then after I did my concept maps, my friends and I studied together this semester, so I kind of was in charge of like making the Quizlets and all that, and my friend would do the note sheet. So I did my Quizlets myself, I made those myself, but then what I would do whenever we would study, because we also did dynamic quizzing like throughout the entire year because I had med-surg the whole year. So like as the exams were coming up, I would just do the dynamic quizzing per section. So in that way, when it came time for my proctor, I did do most of the dynamic quizzing, but I did it again, but we'll get to that after. What I used to do when we would study is I would go through each PowerPoint and I would say, make me 50 NCLEX style questions, select all that apply, bow tie, case study. It would do that. Like, it would make them for me. And I showed my professor and she was like, wow, these are very similar to your exam questions. And I was like, I know. And it would like go through, give you rationales and everything. I think that that really helped me because my grades from last semester to this semester, there's a big difference, like a huge difference. And I think it was because I really just sat and like thought about these things and had basic information in front of me that was like important information. Because instead of writing everything on my note sheet, I only had what these concept maps were. And it was like so broken down for me that I could just look at it and be like, yep, I remember that. So now when it came time for the proctor, I was good in the class, like I scored well, but everybody knows that your proctor is nothing like your exams in your classroom. So I did all the dynamic quizzing for each class, like pediatrics, mental health, and med-surg. I did all the dynamic quizzing throughout the entire year. And if I got a question wrong, I would put it in the study mode that you can do it. Only if I got a question wrong, I would write the rationales for each answer. Because if I got a question right, it's not worth it to like sit there and spend time because like, okay, I got it. I understand this. So move on. If I got it wrong, I would write all the rationales and then I just continuously did it. And I don't know if anyone else knows about this, but I just found out about this year. When you go on to dynamic quizzing, there is a section below the dynamic quizzing that says standardized quizzing, and you can actually take a quiz. Like med-surg had like 5 based off of each section. So a couple days before my proctor, I took all of those and I realized I was doing really well. But what I was doing was I had a binder of all my concept maps throughout the entire year. And I have a whiteboard that I have in my room, and I basically just gave myself like 45 minutes to write down everything I thought I knew in one color, and then I would go back and look at my concept maps, and anything I missed, I filled in on a different color. So I kind of knew like what I had to work on and like what I wasn't really understanding, and I just continuously did that until it all just stuck in my head. And like endocrine is really hard. I think that was something that somebody like our section got really choked up on. Same thing with like DKA, the heart, like all that kind of stuff. I really wanted to spend more time on. So I knew based off of my coloring system on what I had to work on. But honestly, that's how I think I did it. I think I just really popped off with that, and those questions that I made on chat, like I had it do so much for me and it was very useful. But there's a way to use it and then there's also a way to abuse it. So you can't only rely on that, but having it like reorganize your notes for you in a way that would be better for you to understand, I think is very helpful. And also there's another feature on chat where it's like, if something that you're not understanding, you can say, can you explain this to me like I'm in elementary school? And it will. Or like, can you write me a story about this? And it will. And I think that that was very good. And then one last resource I used was Notebook LM. It's like Google Notebook LM. And I would just do the same thing. I uploaded my PowerPoints and it would like give me a written response of everything like based off the disease process. But what I mostly used it for was a podcast. And it's like an interactive podcast. So like when I was cleaning or like doing whatever, if I didn't want to like sit down and study, I would just listen to that. And if I had a question, you can actually interact and like ask your question and it'll explain it to you. But it's based off of your PowerPoint, which I think is really cool. So yeah, that's everything I did.